I'm Oral Hershiser, and I am on Blue Review.
Hey, this is Sean Green. You're watching the Blue Review.
Um, um, Ring.
For the Padres.
Lots of lasers on a Monday morning. Welcome everybody to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcas Grant. That is Greg Bergman. Good weekend for the Dodgers. 2 or 3 for the Padres. It was everything we could have hoped and dreamed, right?
Yeah, taking 2 or 3 from the Padres. And the last time we took 2 or 3 from the Padres last month, they went in a complete tailspin and became the worst team in baseball while we became the best. And hopefully that happens once again because the Padres deserve it.
Yeah, it's certainly not over. I mean, it's still June, but
No,
man,
but I would like them to go into a larger tailspin.
the Dodgers went a long way toward solidifying another division title. We'll talk about that and plenty more. But first, want to let you know that the Blue Review is powered by LAX. The next time you're heading to LAX, look up. You'll see the future of airport travel in action as the new all-electric Skylink People Mover train is undergoing testing. For more information, visit lawa.org/ESPN. All right. Where shall we start? You want to start all the way back at Friday? You want to start yesterday? Where would you like
we should. Do you want to start with the negative of Friday, or do you want to
get it out of the way?
I think we just get it out of the way because everybody in the chat just understand we have to talk about Friday. We have to talk about a loss. We have to talk about the problems that happened in that loss. But we'll get to the good stuff. Don't worry, it's all coming.
It's all coming. It's all coming. So yeah, on Friday, Dodgers lose 7-1 in the first game of the series. It was a weird night for Roki Sasaki because he wasn't at his best. I mean, we've seen him be a lot better recently than he was on Friday night. 4 innings, 3 runs on 3 hits. The 5 walks was sort of the return of the old Roki Sasaki that we were hoping had gone away. He showed up for at least a day. But even through it all, though, he gave up the home run to France. Got accounted for all 3 runs. So even not being at his best, he was sort of able to dodge a lot of trouble in that ball game.
He was able to wiggle and move and get away from everything. But yeah, I mean, look, the walks are the problem. That's 100% the problem. You cannot be walking 5 guys. He cannot be getting so high up in the pitch count. He cannot be doing those types of things. He did find a way to, because let's be honest, the Padres hitting is probably the worst in baseball or one of the worst in all of baseball. So they kind of helped pitchers out this entire weekend. But he cannot be doing that. Then it just kind of fell apart after Roki left, and it's understandable. I just the biggest thing for me is the Roki part of it, and to not be doing what he did last time on Friday. Cannot be giving up the walks, cannot be losing control, and has to be hitting his zone. They were laying off everything, just like the teams were doing early in the season when they were laying off the splitter. They were laying off it completely, and he just couldn't get back into the. He kept getting high into the count. It didn't last very long. But besides that, I mean, you're right. The fact is, he only gave up the 3 runs, but he still was in trouble the entire night, which then comes and then you have your bullpen having to come out early, and it's a problem.
Yeah, the bullpen was most of the bullpen actually was okay. You got a scoreless inning out of Jack Dreyer. You got a scoreless inning out of Brock Stewart. You got a scoreless inning out of Edgardo Enriquez. It was Jonathan Hernandez late where things fell apart.
And you kind of expect that though, right? Like when Jonathan Hernandez came in, you're like, all right, this game's done.
This is probably yeah. I don't remember what I did. I think I did divert my attention to something else at that point. Before you, it was 7-1. The offense, just kind of an off night for the offense. Really not much to speak of. They did get 7 hits in the ball game, but I don't know. Walker Buehler. Congrats.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, congrats to Walker Buehler, but at the same time, like they had guys on base. Like they were doing what they kind of, you're right. They had 7 hits, but there was guys on base. They also had a couple of walks. They had the magic number of 10 runners on base. Like they should have been able to make more things happen and they just couldn't get it done. And that's, it's going to happen every once in a while. Maybe they just wanted to throw him a bone. Who knows? But,
Who knows?
yeah.
Well, the series went the kind of way the last series went, right? Where the Padres win the first one, and then the rest of the weekend is a miserable time for them. So we will sweep away Friday. We'll move on to Saturday's game, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. But they throw parades. They get one win, they throw parades. This is what happens. Oh, I saw it all over my timeline. I saw it on TikTok. Padre fans being like, yeah, look at that. Yeah, right, we got you on Friday. Like, well, you have to remember there's 2 more games.
There's 2 more games. There's 2 more games in the series. Because then came Saturday, where the Dodgers put up a 9 spot in the 6th, a 15-3 win in that one. A day where pretty much everybody hit. I mean, I'm going through the box score right now, and in fact, not only did everybody hit, a lot of guys had multiple hits. Shohei with 2, Paez, who's been struggling, had a couple of hits. Freeman with a 3-hit game. You got a couple of hits out of Max Muncy, 2 out of Tommy Edman, 3 hits from Kyle Tucker, including. Let's talk about that 9-pitch at bat that Kyle Tucker had. Which was amazing, right? Maybe the best at bat he's had all year, where he stood in, he was patient, he fouled off pitches, and he eventually got one to hit and hammered it for a 3-run home run. Look, he's still been up and down. He still hasn't had the consistency, but those kind of at bats were sort of the at bats we were hoping for when Kyle Tucker showed up.
Yeah. So Kyle Tucker, then he said it after the game, though. I don't know if you heard him talking with Kirsten Watson after the game, but he was still not really happy with his swing, despite the fact that he had the 3 hits, despite the fact that he had the home run. He was saying that his swing still doesn't feel right. He got a hit yesterday, and we haven't gotten there yet, but he was hoping to help this move forward. But we've talked about this with Tucker for a long time. Maybe this is the impetus. Maybe this is the thing that's going to push him forward. Maybe this is the one. And you're hoping that that's the one for Kyle Tucker, but he still feels bad at the plate. His swing doesn't feel right. Even though he had that big 3-run home run, he said like his swing path was just in the right space at the right time, and he got a hold of the ball. At that point, he got away with something there. It was a great at bat. I thought it was a great at bat. You did too. But if he's not still feeling it, then that is kind of troublesome for me. But at the same time, like, hopefully he can start working on those type of things and start feeling better game by game, because he did have the hit yesterday. Now he has to just have a multi-hit game. One thing that I found out yesterday, in yesterday's game, Kyle Tucker, if he would have gotten a second hit, that would have been his first time with back-to-back multi-hit games this season since April 3rd and 4th. Your $60 million guy hasn't had a multi-hit game in back-to-back games since April 3rd and 4th.
So basically, almost the first week of the season.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how much he's struggling. Yeah.
That's rough, right?
So, I mean, he's your villain. So what are you thinking? What did you the at bat, all of it? Where are you at?
I mean, I thought the at bat was great, and I thought that the 3-hit game was great. And I'm not ready to put the good guy cape on him yet. I'm like Kyle Tucker. Like, I need to see more from the swing. I need to see more consistency from the swing. And it was even a thing that I think Eric Karros mentioned on the broadcast yesterday. It was like, hey man, Saturday was great. Hopefully it's the start of something. Hopefully he could put something together, but it really is about putting something together on a second day, on a third day, and trying to see if this actually snowballs into something. So, I think I put in the chat, I was all ready to talk trash about Kyle Tucker in that at bat, because my thought was he's got to at least get the run home, right? I don't even care if a home run's great. I just needed like a sac fly, something, just a way to get the run home. My fear was he was going to strike out or pop up. So that was great. Need to see a little bit more. So we need to break this April 3rd and 4th thing. We need a more recent date than April 3rd and April 4th.
Yeah. Need to see back-to-back games where he gets multi-hits. And I think he needs to go on a stretch. Like, if it's after the All-Star break, fine. But we definitely need to see a stretch from Kyle Tucker where, like, oh my God, he's the best hitter on the field right now. But, the best hitter on the field right now is Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Yeah,
which I guess let's get to Mookie because, man, I mean, you want to talk about a turnaround from where it was, even just 3 weeks ago, right? Mookie's batting average is, let's see where we're going to get
It's
the
got to be the
updated.
240s at this point.
236. So he's getting
236,
close.
yeah.
He's getting close. Which look, he's creeping up on Kyle Tucker, who's at 239 right
Oh,
now,
God.
which is an achievement considering like 3 weeks ago he was hitting 179. So you're looking at nearly a 60-point increase in batting average from Mookie Betts. I know we've talked before. We talked with Anthony Witrado that some of this was bad luck, but it's just nice to see Mookie sort of regain the form. Like I know we believed, but at some point, like everybody, you just want to see the results happen. And now the results are happening.
Yeah, we talked so much about Mookie Betts and how he was struggling that it's not. We have to look at him more as not as the MVP Mookie Betts, but as just a good player Mookie Betts, and he's kind of trying to show himself as that MVP guy again. He has been on an absolute tear over the last couple of weeks, and maybe even the last month, where the dude is kind of pushing everything forward, and he's just when in big spots. He's getting hits. Like even yesterday, I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but even yesterday he had a big single with the bases loaded to bring in 2 more runs to make it to 4-1. Without him, we are not where we are right now in these last couple of games because he's getting the big hit, the big home run. I mean, he's like, which would you rather have? Kyle Tucker is sitting around 7 home. It's 7 home runs and like 44 RBIs. Or Mookie at 11 home runs and 27 RBIs. Now Mookie missed time, and he pushed himself up from completely in the basement to moving now into how well he's hitting. It's just really nice to see that Mookie Betts can figure something out, and it looks like he's getting up there. He's like, I'm just trying to get a hit, and I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just standing I'm standing at the plate, thinking I'm going to get a hit, and I feel confident I'm going to get a hit. And that's the best place for him to be.
It is the best place for him to be. And we're seeing him spray the ball all over the field. I mean, he's a guy who's got power to the pull side, and we're seeing that, right? We're seeing the home runs go to left, but, he's also able to go the other way with one where he's hit a couple balls to right field that may end up as singles, maybe extra base hits, but everything is being barreled up right now. He's hitting it hard. He's swinging at good pitches. And, I think also throw in fact some of the luck that had gone against him seems to be going his way now. A lot of balls that were right at fielders or getting caught with diving catches, they're starting to find grass now. So it's great. Let's keep it going. Shohei's doing his thing. Freddie's been hot. So the top of the lineup is looking really, really scary again. We can just kickstart Eddie Pa. Whoever hits number 2, whereas the Pa has with somebody. We just need something to jolt that part of the lineup. I don't know what it is. I've never seen anything like this before. It's weird.
It's kind of crazy, but even at the same time, so this weekend series, I was kind of keeping track of it and listening to the broadcast about it. But Andy Paz was on base in these 3, either 8 or 9 different times in this series. So I mean, at least he's getting on base and he's starting to, and like whether by walk or it was a force out, whatever it happens to be, he was on base not 8 or 9 times, and that's progress to get him back to where he needs to be. I think that's something that he just needed to figure out. But one last thing on Mookie, I saw Fabian Ardaya put this out there. You talked about all the hard hit balls and the fact that he was just getting unlucky. He had the largest expected batting average gap to his actual batting average gap in baseball. He had an expected batting average of 285, and he was down in like the 230s. And so now it's all starting to kind of even itself out. So he was very much getting unlucky. If in that sense that he was the diving for the balls or a ball that was just hit at somebody, he was barreling over and over again. It was just right at somebody. So it's all law of averages. It's all going to start coming around. It seems like it's coming around for Mookie.
Definitely coming around for Mookie, and that is definitely a positive thing there. I guess we should mention, too, Yamamoto did his typical sort of Yamamoto thing on Saturday. 6 innings, 5 hits. I think they probably would have let him go if it wasn't such a blowout, at which point Dave Roberts was like, let's just get some other arms and get some other guys get some work. But I'm sure he was amazed to see he got that much run support. Like, that never happens for him.
So I think over the last few games, he's getting more and more runs.
He
I
is.
think like 8 runs has happened 2 or 3 different times, or 7 runs for him recently, which is a good thing. That's great.
Yeah, it is definitely a great thing. I think I still come into this game thinking because it was 1-0, and then he gave up the home run in the 5th, And I was kind of like, I was like, well, you got one run. What else did you want? Like, like, whatever. What are you thinking? But yeah, it ended up being a big day for him. Let's get to Sunday, where the Dodgers closed it out with a 4-2 win over the Padres to take the series 2-1. Emmett Sheehan, you revealed to the chat that you maybe are a little frustrated with Emmett Sheehan, or that he tends to grind your gears, I guess maybe the best way to describe that.
Yes, that is absolutely right. I think that, I mean, it's fair or unfair. When I watch Emmett Sheehan, I am frustrated. Maybe it's because I think he should be better or whatever. Is like he wiggled out of a lot of situations yesterday that he shouldn't have been able to. If the Padres were even a slightly better hitting team, they would have been more patient. He was getting swing and misses at pitches that were like 5, 6, 7 inches off the plate. Like they absolutely helped him. That could have gone the complete opposite way, but they were just for some reason, being so aggressive on pitches and maybe it's deception from his pitches, and good for him. But I didn't look at that Emmett Sheehan outing and think, wow, that was a great outing, despite the numbers looking like that's a really good outing for Emmett Sheehan. That did not look like a good outing to me. If you actually watched the game and watched how he pitches, that did not look great, even though the numbers ended up where. Now, you always just take the results, right? But that was not. So I think Emmett Sheehan is just somebody with that when I watch pitch, I feel like he should be better than he is, and there's something that's going on with him. He's not right. Even though those numbers looked good, I still don't think he's right, and I think he's going to be somebody that goes down to AAA at some point, because if that was almost any other team, he was going to get blasted.
Yeah, I mean, just watching it, the spray pattern was sort of all over the place. He was really struggling with his fastball, changeup command. The breaking ball actually looked good, except for the one that he hung to Manny Machado. He just kind of left the spinner up there, and Machado hammered it, which, if you do that, that's a lot of times what's going to happen to it. But yeah, the command was not great. You mentioned he got a lot of help. I can think of, like Samad Taylor struck out on a couple of pitches that were not even close. I can't remember. There's somebody else who swung at one like that was way down and away that had no chance of ever being a strike. So it did sort of work out. I guess that happens. To your point, the Padres have the lowest team batting average in baseball. In fact, by a lot of metrics, they are the worst offense in baseball.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think my camera went away.
Yeah, you're El Gato. It says El Gato.
Yeah,
please run camera hub. That's all right. So we can hear you. So
I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here. It's all right, but El Gato will come back and go away. Isn't that Tony Gonsolin though? Like if El Gato would be from Tony.
Yeah, he would be, huh?
Right. Yeah, but again, Emmett Sheehan. Look, I mean, if Emmett Sheehan is the biggest worry on your pitching staff, then we're in a good situation where he is. I mean, at the end of the day, he's your 7th, 8th starter, somewhere around there. So I don't know. I thought that he just was. I don't want to call him my villain. I don't want to call him a villain after an outing that looks so good on paper. But that wasn't a good outing. I don't know. Did you think it was a good outing? Because I know we were going back and forth on it, but I might be by myself now, and that's fine. But either way, so like. Emmett Sheehan, again, something that we do need to talk about, though, is the fact that they take 2 or 3 from the Padres. Thank you. They did take 2 or 3 from the Padres, and that moves it to a 10-game lead. And now you're sitting at the best team in all of baseball. You're going up to Sacramento, which is so weird to say, going to Sacramento to see the A's. But the fact is that you're going to play the A's. And now you got Eric Lauer, and Eric Lauer has looked really weirdly good as a Dodger pitcher, and when he looks good as a Dodger pitcher, that means that somebody else is going to eventually have to go down when Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow come back. And I don't think it's going to be Lauer anymore, Marcus. I think Sheehan is the guy that's going to go down to.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to mention before my camera decided to take a dump.
I can film.
That was, I remember, or I read before the game, Dave Roberts being asked about Sheehan and saying, look, he's not pitching for his job, but that they do need to see him get better. I don't know what the evaluation is going to be necessarily about what that start was like on yesterday, but Yeah, I mean, obviously the crunch is coming, right? Snell's getting closer. Uh, Robleski's pitching well. Roki, despite whatever happened on Friday, has been improved from where he was at the start of the season. So the numbers crunch right now does sort of point in Emmett Sheehan's direction. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking in the chat. A couple things in the chat. David Hildreth saying, anyone else annoyed by that loud Padres fan yesterday?
Oh, yeah, my goodness. What was that?
Even Joe Davis had to sort of acknowledge what was happening on TV.
You got to figure out something to do in that situation. No, it was so obnoxious. And actually, I don't even know if it was a Padre fan or if it was a Dodger fan, because he's like, come on, Mookie, like, get a hit, Mookie. Like, I don't. He was just talking the entire time.
Whole time.
And it was right next to the microphone. Like, move the microphone, do something. That was so frustrating.
But it was also like, he wasn't, like, I didn't think like he was there with somebody. He was just talking out loud to like whomever was around him or something. It was, yeah, that was wild. See one from Justin Lamas, and I guess it's fitting because the Dodgers heading up to Sacramento to take on the West Sacramento A's, which is what I call them now. Minor league stadium. So I'm going to stick up for minor league stadiums in that, like, not all of them, like, the fact that you are a minor league stadium does not necessarily mean that you surrender a lot of home runs. Now, that part does, because it's just hot and the ball jumps there at the, I don't even know what the place is in Sacramento. I don't even know the name of the field anymore.
I don't know. It's West Sacramento A's.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I will defend the honor of minor league stadiums in general. Now, this one just happens to give up a lot of home runs, but that is a function of sort of, it's just like, it's not like the fences at minor league stadiums are closer than they are at major league stadiums. The dimensions tend to be the same in a lot of places. Now, places in the Pacific Coast League tend to surrender a lot of home runs. I think that's just a function of sort of where some of these parks are located. But the reason the A's hit a lot of home runs because they got guys who can hit a lot of home runs.
Yeah,
Nick Kurtz being maybe the.
A lot of them are injured. I was seeing, and by the way, it's Sutter Health Park. It used to be called Rayleigh.
It was Rayleigh Field once upon a time. I knew it changed, but I couldn't remember the current name.
So, but I was seeing a bunch of their really good hitters are on the IL, like Brent Brooker, Tyler Soderstrom. I believe there's a few more on the A's as well. Soderstrom, Zach Geloff, who's been pitching, that was hitting really well. He's hurt. There's a Jacob Wilson. There's a few guys there.
Oh, Jacob Wilson's a good player. Like Alex Freeland seems to be holding down second base, but in the event that he couldn't, the A's the Dodgers always trade for Jacob Wilson and make him their second baseman of the future, which is great. The other good news, yes, Teoscar Hernandez expected back for this week. So Teo's back after apparently just mashing for OKC during their series in Reno, which our pal Jeff Spiegel was at. So that's good news as well that Teo gets back.
You got to go far, Reno to Sacramento.
So, yeah, did they just send an Uber for him to drive? Right. I mean, it literally is like a 2.5 hour drive, I think, from Reno to Sacramento. It's not that far.
If I had to guess, he went on an airplane that went up and then down.
I mean, it would have taken more time to get through TSA than actually the actual flight from Reno to Sacramento.
Mark Walters sent the private jet. He's like, here you go.
You know what? I would not be totally surprised, but it is, just for the record, it is just slightly over 2 hour drive between the two of them. So here we are. We are not yet into July. The Dodgers have a 10-game lead in the division. I'm not, look, it's too early to say that it's all wrapped up and done because weird things have certainly happened in the history of baseball. But man, if you're the Padres and you lose 2 of 3, you got to really be rethinking like kind of how you're approaching the rest of the season at this point now, right?
Yeah, I mean, they get to see the Dodgers again this weekend. So they come up to Dodger Stadium this weekend on 4th of July weekend. I think it's a 4-game series also, but I might be wrong on that. But yeah, these are big games for them because if you're down by 12, 13, 14 games going into the All-Star break, you're kind of screwed at that point. I mean, maybe not for the playoffs themselves, but if you're even thinking about the division, it's not going to happen. The Dodgers are also, by the way, they're the best team in baseball by now, like 4 or 5 games. I think only the Brewers have 50 wins and they have 54. So they're just doing what we wanted them to do. And we wanted it last year. It didn't really happen, but they are running away with the division, and they're running away with all of it, as they absolutely should. Be able to take the rest and be able to have these guys on the IL and be like, all right, we're fine. We're just going to keep winning games despite all of our best players being out.
And I don't think they have played their best baseball for long stretches. Like, it shows up at times, but like they haven't put together, I think, a long stretch where you're just like, yeah, they are unstoppable, in part because they haven't had everybody together. The gang has not been together at the same time all season long. So that's good news for Dodger fans. It seems particularly worrying for everybody else because at some point you believe Snell, Glass now. We know Teoscar's coming back. Will Smith will hopefully be back. I don't know when. Side note to that, apparently it's not going to be till closer to the All-Star break, according to Dave Roberts, which in Dave Roberts speak means after the All-Star break. I don't know. Go figure it out. Anyway, yes to the question in the chat. I will be on DeMarco and Travis today. So you can find me there from 3 to 6 with DeMarco and Travis. So be sure to check that out as well. Also, be sure to stick around because the Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up right after us here. Thanks to Istant as well. First of a 3-game series gets going tonight in Sacramento. It'll be Eric Lauer on the mound against Gage Jump.
What a name.
Which is not just a great name. Apparently he's a guy who's been pitching really well for the A's since he got the call up there. So we will see. 6:40 first pitch is the scheduled time for that. But in the meantime, for Greg, I'm Marcus. This has been the Blue Review presented by LAX. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 to 6:55 here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. See ya.
See ya.